The Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Subcommittee on Education and the American Family will come to order. Thanks for being here. As you can tell, we're running a little late. It's a little hectic on the Hill today, but we will survive. This afternoon, we're having a hearing on empowering families for better educational results. Ranking Member Blunt Rochester and I will each have an opening statement. The witnesses will have 5 minutes for their opening statements, and senators will each have 5 minutes for questions. We will obviously have senators coming in and out because many votes today. So thank you to all the witnesses for being here today. It's always nice to see a fellow Alabamian here today, up here in the swamp. Thanks to Mr. Barnett for coming to visit today. We've called this hearing to discuss something very near and dear to my heart. One of the reasons I'm here, I was an educator for decades before I decided to come up here, and over those years, I saw the state of our education system decline. The federal government just kept spending more money in K through 12 education, and the more they spent, the worse the outcomes became. It was just amazing to me to watch it in real time, and it made no sense. It's the main reason I chose to run for this office. I didn't want to see our kids fail year after year. Then I got here and realized that we can fix it, but a lot of things are broken. 4 years I've been serving here on the Help Committee, and this year I finally got this gavel to make sure we could have something like this to where we could bring things to light. I wanted to focus on our kids' educational outcomes and figure out where we were failing and also where we're doing good things. That lends us to today. That's why we're having this hearing. We need to take a good hard look at our K through 12 education system and figure out what can we do to fix it, to make it better. Because the status quo in a lot of areas is not cutting it. That means we need to think outside the box. Since COVID, parents have gotten a lot more engaged, and that's where all the necessary change can start, right at home, family. And since parents have started paying more attention, they've started calling for more and more options. Parents across our country are calling for their states to offer more options for their kids outside of failing school systems. States represented by folks on both sides of this dais are working on school choice options in their state legislatures. We'll hear about that issue from our witnesses today. Parents want these options, and we ought to listen to them. In my home state of Alabama, last year we passed the CHOOSE Act, which created an income tax credit for families who choose to enroll their children in private schools or homeschooling. Virginia, Florida, Alaska, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Indiana, and Washington are just a few states to name that have implemented or have pending state legislation to create these income tax credits promoting school choice. It's simple. When we give our parents and students choice, we yield better educational results. We owe our kids this investment. But it doesn't end there. Right now, our kids in a lot of areas can't read. We have kids entering middle school and high school who aren't at a third grade reading level. I used to recruit kids. I'd bring them in with 3.5 GPAs. The next thing I know, after testing them, they wouldn't be sixth grade reading level. Something has got to change with that. States and governors across our country have taken up the literacy challenge and enacted legislation at the state level where it should be. Ranking Member Blunt, Rochester's home state of Delaware, passed House Bill 304 that implemented reading assessments 3 times a school year for kids K through 3, and my state passed the Alabama Literacy Act, which does the same thing. And we're trying. No matter the state, this is a widespread effort, and we will discuss today the methods that are working. We'll talk about the science of reading and how best to implement it in our classrooms. We'll hear about how we can invest in our teachers and best prepare them to tackle this crisis head on. They need to be set up for success just as much as our students do. I want today to be an opportunity for this committee to have a conversation about what our states are doing and what can we do to support them from here, from the federal level. Our children are the best resource this country has, the best thing we've got going. And above all, we owe them one thing, an opportunity to succeed. and I look forward to working with all of you towards this common goal. Now I'll yield to my ranking member, Senator Blunt Rochester, for her opening statement.